Hey, we're doing a little bit of run and gun. And we heard some clucking off in the distance as we were walking through these trees, these hardwoods. And we called in a hen. She came into about 30 yards, but she's by herself. So we're actually just doing a quick little scout. We only have about an hour left of turkey time, so we're gonna let her walk off, and then we're gonna go check a field and get ready for tomorrow morning's hunt. Diane said she's ready. Are you ready?
Ready.
She says she's ready. We'll see. Stay tuned, folks. You're watching Fuel the Fire TV.
Life offers no guarantees, but the one thing we've learned for sure is that the time we have is indeed precious. The more time we spend with family, friends, and with nature can make the difference between living a good life and living a great one. Join us on our quest to be participants rather than observers, to learn from our mistakes, to share our successes and our failures, as we spend all of the time we have chasing our dreams, fueling our passion, and fueling the fire in the great outdoors. Hey folks, this week we're down in Wyerton. Now it's been a crazy spring, super cold, and in the last 5 days it's incredibly hot, like 34 degrees. I think it shut the birds down a little bit, but we're gonna go at it and see if we can light up some toms. That's always a real good sign. It's just before lunch. We're gonna see if this field, which usually holds birds, even though they just planted it, they did a lot of work in here. Jesse and I have shot good birds in here. We've had some real good success. So we're gonna cut up this little trail and scope these fields and see what's happening, if anything. Okay, they cleared this big field. They just planted it in the last couple of days. And we're just gonna, I want to see something way back there. But these birds are not lighting up at all. We're gonna ease up there and we're gonna check this field. Another close call. I didn't even see those birds. We just kind of did a scan of the field, and I saw his fan tucked away in that little bit of scrub there. And the hen popped out, and I think she made me, but they stayed there for, man, like a half an hour. We're all cramped up here because I just dropped down when they turned their backs. Oh, you just never know when it's going to happen. But that was a real good tom. We saw him the other day, And you just got to keep trying.
Diane said she's ready. Are you ready? Ready. She says she's ready. We'll see. We roosted 9 birds in here yesterday. 2 big toms. But they're just not responding. We didn't even hear them gobble out of the trees. And, you know, it's crazy. The temperatures, like I said earlier, the temperatures this spring have been absolutely insane. And 2 days ago, it was 34 degrees down here. And now it's like 8 degrees this morning. And that temperature change I was hoping would fire up those birds, but I think we've just missed that hard chase phase for these turkeys. Well, these birds just aren't active whatsoever. As you could see, those hens didn't respond, didn't come in at all to even inquire. And those toms didn't light up even though they gobbled before they got down from the tree. But that coyote was cool. Just an ultimate predator trying to sneak in on those birds. We're down to the wire for turkey season. We just didn't get a chance to hunt, the hot spot of the season. We're just hunting the very tail end, and we're learning a lot. I've never hunted this late for turkeys. We usually hit the opener, and luckily we tag out pretty quick. The birds are way more responsive at that time of year, it seems, and now it must be like hunting them in the fall. I've never hunted turkeys in the fall, but I understand that it is difficult because you're trying to just pinch those birds off as they're coming to the roost. But we've been at it pretty hard for the last few days. We haven't, we got on a couple of big toms, and we just can't seem to get them to fire up. We didn't even see that head come out, but I don't even know where she came from. She just walked straight out to us. Anyway, we'll keep our eyes peeled. If Diane shoots a turkey on this trip, it's going to be a miracle. We walked into our setup today, and this is a good setup. We walked in, there was no tent. I thought someone lifted it, but they didn't. It blew into the bush, and as we were walking the fence row to look for it, I walked on 3 jakes, the jakes that we know come here right at nightfall. Anyway, this is a good spot, like I said. We're trying to get Diane a bird, and I got my first bird with a bow here last year. So, it is a lucky spot.
Good job. Good job. Jake's down. Last day.
Well, there we go. The Benelli from Ermaco's got it done again. Diane made an excellent shot. What'd you think?
I just didn't think it was going to happen. There was just too many variables that seemed to stand in our way during this season's hunt.
From losing the tent this afternoon to spooking the Jakes and blowing the setup, you know, it was a comedy of errors. But you know what? We're out here. We're fueling our passion. We're fueling the fire. We're getting outdoors. And we're making memories. And that's what it's all about. Diane's got a nice Jake. We'll enjoy that with the family. And we got one morning left to try and get it done. So we'll see what happens. All right, welcome to this week's Wild Game Kitchen. Now, I love simple recipes, and this week we're doing wild turkey parmesan. First up, we're going to do some oven roasted potatoes. We're going to wash them up real quick. You put them right in the pan, and you cover them with olive oil. And a real generous supply of olive oil. And a secret spice is Montreal steak spice. 2 roasted potatoes. I'm just going to mix them up a little bit. And then we're going to put those in the oven at 375 for about a half an hour to 40 minutes. And we're going to prep our turkey. All right, so next up we have our turkey breast. Now this is from a tom we took a while back. We're going to cut it into fairly, not thin strips, but little fillets. And this one is thick, so I'm actually going to use the meat mallet. I'm gonna trim that down a little bit and thin it up. And because it's thick, I'm actually gonna fillet this one because we're not gonna cook it for very long, only about 10, 12 minutes max. So I want that to be fairly thin when I put that on the pan. So I'm going to take the meat mallet. I'm just going to tenderize it a wee bit and flatten it out on that side. All right, so next up, we're going to take these pieces of turkey and we're going to dip them in some egg whites here. Almost. And a little bit of water. Just a splash. Mix that up a little bit, like that. Okay, easy enough. And then I'm just using Italian style breadcrumbs. Put a little bit in a bowl. I'm just gonna put a little splash. Not that it won't stick on there, but it shouldn't. Like that. So again, you give it a good generous coating of that egg white. Same thing with the Italian breadcrumbs, or Italian style breadcrumbs. I'm going to put it on here, maybe a little bit sprinkle because I missed a spot. Again, simplicity is what I'm all about when it comes to a quick meal prep, and this one is easy to do. Just like so. So our breading is on. We've dipped it in egg white and water. We're going to put it in the oven for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to pull it back out. We're going to put some tomato sauce on there and some mozzarella cheese and put it back in for another 5 minutes, and then we're going to have a look at it. Like I said, I'm all about it being easy. An easy prep is what I'm about. A couple of potatoes. Like so. Even though I want more potatoes, that's okay. I'm going to take this little guy like this. And I'm going to take some of these like this. That is not going to be enough for me. I'm going to want another one. Hate to say it.
we're gonna taste it real quick. Man, I couldn't be at a restaurant and that be any better. An easy recipe in this week's Wild Game Kitchen. Now let's get back to turkey hunting.
All right, it's 20 to 6. And it's the last morning of turkey season. And we got turkeys all around us, so the setup is looking good. We actually got some gobbles this morning. We'll see what happens here in a bit. Just those hands.
All right, so we're out of time. Either that or I'm just becoming impatient. And we're gonna make a move on these turkeys. We're gonna try and take the tent to that rock wall. Then as long as they stay on that slash pile, I'm gonna come around and then do the ambush or the sneaky Pete.
80 yards down this fence line, they're locked up with that hen. We're just gonna inch up there. All right, we're all packed up and we're actually heading for home. But those three big toms are about 150 yards. I can just see one fan. So this is all or nothing here. We're gonna make a break for it. And I'm gonna crawl down this little gully here, and we're gonna try and sneak in behind that rail fence. Come on, let's go. 80 yards down this fence line, they're locked up with that hen. We're just gonna inch up there.
Oh, I can't even explain it. I love turkey hunting. I cannot explain the ups and downs. Today we saw 12 birds, 11 or 12 birds. We saw a crazy fight. We saw 3 new toms come in and bully the tom we were after. And then you know what? The bully got what was coming to him. And it felt like a low shot. It was probably 40, 50, that was at least 50 yards from here. Man, let's go see this bird. Oh, this is just awesome. Let's get him out there. Nice big spurs on him. Look at that. Just a great big pen. That is fantastic, man. That was such hard work. Oh man, awesome, awesome. He's got a decent beard, probably a good 7 or 8 inches, but he's a big, heavy bird. His spurs are probably an inch. They're sharp as heck, but look at that. Oh, thanks to the property owners, we've got all of the Miller boys, Brad and Tom, and his brother Paul. Paul gave us a place to stay. We're so thankful for that because it was cold, it was hot, it was rainy, it was sunny. Man, what a fantastic weekend we had down here for the tail end of turkey season. We're out here fueling our passion, we're fueling the fire, and we're getting outdoors. That is just fantastic.